Max Holloway, a man who has gone through fire and water in the UFC, with 31 fights under the auspices of the world's best organization. A true fan of his craft, the highest level of opposition from an early age, and multiple championships are indicative of his exceptional hard work and talent. On the night of March 8th, he will face a rematch with the king of submissions and a true finishing machine, Charles Oliveira. The fight is for the BFM title. In his UFC career, Max Holloway has never been a privileged fighter, but if Max is an indestructible rock against which waves crash, then Charles Oliveira is fire itself. A man whose path in the UFC resembles a Hollywood drama, from the status of a downed pilot to the title of the most dangerous finisher in the history of the league. What happens to fighters after they meet the Blessed One? Max doesn't just win, he takes a piece of his opponent's soul. Remember Brian Ortega, whose appearance changed beyond recognition after 20 minutes of boxing lessons from Max. Remember Kelvin Kattar, who took over a year to recover after his historic beating. Their first meeting in 2015 left a bitter aftertaste due to Charles's ridiculous injury. But today they are two completely different beasts. Oliveira no longer breaks under pressure. Now he is the pressure. His jiu-jitsu is a trap, and his stance has turned into a deadly weapon capable of extinguishing even the most resilient. Great victories and resounding defeats, the Hawaiian has gone through it all. His legacy was built brick by brick over many years of hard work. His hyena style, a hurricane of blows on all floors, and his signature Max Point have won the hearts of the public. In this video, we will look at his opponents before and after the fight with Blessed Max. Max Holloway is an anomaly. In an era where fighters try to minimize damage and work for points, Max goes for the soul. His strategy is death by 1,000 cuts. He doesn't look for one heavy blow, he creates an avalanche. His jab is not just a poke, it's the beginning of the end. He finds your rhythm, breaks your timing, and methodically dismantles you. Look at the statistics. Max holds records for the number of accentuated strikes landed that seem unattainable. He makes the world's best athletes look like amateurs simply because they can't keep up with his pace. In this rematch, we will see a classic confrontation. Max's element, pace. He doesn't just hit, he wears you down. His punches are like hammer blows on an anvil. Individually, they may not seem critical, but by the third round, they turn his opponent's defense into a sieve. Charles's element, killer instinct. Oliveira doesn't need to dominate for 25 minutes. He only needs 25 seconds of control, one takedown, or one tight neck hold. For him, any mistake by Max is a ticket to the ground, from where almost no one returns alive. Many call Max's style volume, but that's too dry a word for the madness he creates in the octagon. Holloway is mental pressure. When you go up against him, you go up against a man who doesn't believe in fatigue. In the first 2 rounds, you can still fight back. You can even win some rounds. But by the 15th minute, the moment of truth arrives. Your arms get heavy, your lungs burn, and Max starts smiling. That's his main superpower. He gets genuine, almost childlike pleasure from the most brutal fights. While other fighters count the seconds until the bell, Holloway counts how many punches he can land on your jaw in the time remaining. This isn't just a sport, it's the triumph of spirit over flesh. His Max Point isn't showmanship, it's an honest challenge. I'm willing to risk everything for 1 second of eternity. Are you? But don't write off Oliveira. If Max is a relentless storm, Charles is a bare electrical wire. His journey from a boy in the favelas with rheumatoid arthritis to UFC champion is a manifesto of faith. Charles has learned to turn pain into fuel. His greatness lies in the fact that he is dangerous at any moment. Even when he is knocked down, even when his face is covered in blood, he remains the most dangerous creature in the cage. His long arms and cat-like flexibility allow him to throw a chokehold from any position. It will be a battle between Max's infinite motion and Charles's deadly grip. One wants to wear down, the other wants to finish. This rematch is not just an attempt to settle an old score from 2015. It's a battle for the right to be called the greatest fighter of his era, regardless of weight class. Max has been through the fire of fights with Volkanovski, Poirier, and Gaethje. He's seen it all. His body is a map of the wars he has fought around the world. When they meet in the center, they will be followed by the shadows of all those they have crushed. This is a clash between two of the most impressive resumes in light and featherweight history. There is no room for fear here. There is only the pure energy of two titans who know that after this fight, the world of MMA will never be the same again. The silence in the hall before the first bell will be deafening. We will see two men who have given everything to this sport: their health, their youth, their blood. Max will adjust his shorts. Charles will look up at the sky. At that moment, statistics will cease to matter. The numbers will be forgotten. The fees will be forgotten. Only instinct will remain. On the night of date, we will see more than just a fight for the BMF belt. We will see history being made. And when the dust settles and one of them raises his hand, we will understand that we have witnessed greatness that happens once in a generation. In the world of MMA, there is an unspoken rule. A fight with Holloway changes you forever. Jose Aldo, the greatest featherweight, was broken twice, and his dominance ended with Max. Brian Ortega. After their fight, Brian disappeared for almost 2 years, trying to rebuild himself. Justin Gaethje, Max's latest victim. The fighter who was considered the most dangerous striker was knocked out at the last second in the most epic exchange in history. Max doesn't just win fights, he takes away his opponent's confidence that he is the best. After fighting him, fighters often lose their former spark. Will Oliveira have enough mental armor to avoid becoming the next on this list? We are all waiting for the finale, waiting for the moment when Max points his finger at the floor again. This is his temple, his altar. On the night of March 8th, either the Hawaiian Express will run over another legendary name, or the Brazilian submission master will write a new chapter in his incredible rise. Two veterans, two champions, two different destinies that will intersect in the cage to give us history. Forget the rankings, forget the predictions. It's Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira, and it's going to be legendary.